You know those people who just like effortlessly crush every workout they plan?
Yeah.
Like they just love it.
Yeah.
I am not one of those people. My fitness tracker and I, we have a complicated relationship.
Yeah.
Some days it's like we're besties cheering each other on. Other days it's like, just leave me alone.
Right. It's the whole motivation thing. Finding it consistently can be a challenge for a lot of us.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But what if there was a way to personalize fitness even more than we do now? Like what if it was so tailored to you that it could predict what would keep you engaged and on track?
Well, that's a very interesting thought, and it's what we're diving into today.
We're looking at an article by Thomas Wong. It's called AI Personal Trainer, Revolutionizing Fitness with Cutting-Edge Technology, and it's pretty fascinating.
It really is. One of the coolest things it talks about is the idea of AI personal trainers. Now, before you picture robots at the gym,
Oh, that would be pretty cool.
it would be. We're actually talking about sophisticated apps that use algorithms, and they analyze your data to make a custom workout plan for you.
It's like a personal coach in your pocket.
Yeah.
But instead of pep talks, it's all data-driven.
Exactly. And they start by getting to know you fitness-wise. I mean, some of these apps have really detailed questionnaires. Others might have you do some fitness tests through, like, wearables.
Right.
And a lot of them pull data from fitness trackers that people are probably already using. It's like building a really in-depth profile, but for your fitness.
So it's not like it's just spitting out a random workout. It's actually taking into account my needs and what I want to achieve.
Absolutely. Goals, limitations, what equipment you have access to. Some apps even let you say what kinds of exercises you actually like.
Well, that's smart because we all have those exercises where we're like, no, not that one.
Exactly. So that can be a game changer for people.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, personalization is clearly a big deal here. But how does the AI actually go from data to a workout plan? That's the part that's kind of blowing my mind.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's not just pulling random exercises out of a hat. The AI uses really complex algorithms to look at all that info you gave it and designs a plan that's tailored to you. And the coolest part is some of these AI trainers actually use machine learning. So they're constantly adjusting your plan based on how you're doing.
Wait, so it's like learning as I go and tweaking things to make sure they're working for me. That's like having a coach who's always one step ahead.
Exactly. And to give you some real-world examples, the article talks about apps like Fitness AI and GymFitty.
Okay.
So Fitness AI, it focuses on strength training, and it uses algorithms to figure out the perfect weight and reps for you for each exercise. And then GymFitty even has like an AI chatbot coach that answers your questions and guides you through the program.
So it's not just like, here's your workout, good luck. It's actually there with you like a 24/7 fitness consultant.
That's the idea. And it gets even wilder when you start talking about real-time feedback.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about wearables earlier.
Right. So some AI trainers use data from your wearables to give you feedback while you're working out.
Hold on. So it's like having someone watching my form and giving me tips as I'm doing the exercise. That's kind of amazing and kind of scary at the same time.
It definitely is an advancement. Imagine getting your form corrected or your intensity adjusted right when you need it. Like the article talks about the Tempo Home Gym system. It uses 3D sensors to give you detailed feedback on your movements. It's almost like having a personal trainer right there in your living room.
Do you think people would find that motivating or maybe a little too much? Like Big Brother is watching you work out.
Yeah, it's a really interesting question because it's such a huge change in how we think about working out.
Totally.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what else AI could do in the fitness world.
Right. Like, are we just scratching the surface here?
And are there any downsides to all this amazing tech? Because it can't be all sunshine and rainbows, can it?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. And it's what we're going to explore next. Are there any potential drawbacks to consider when it comes to AI trainers? I mean, it really is exciting to think about what AI can do for fitness. But you're right, we can't just ignore the potential downsides.
Yeah, like for starters, all this personalization relies on data.
Right.
And we're talking a lot of data.
Yeah.
Like everything from our height and weight to our workout history, maybe even our location if it's using GPS. It kind of makes you wonder about privacy.
It definitely does. You have to be aware of what data these apps are collecting, how they're using it, and how they're protecting it. I mean, reading those privacy policies is probably a good idea.
Yeah, for real. We usually just scroll past those things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to something like this, it's probably worth taking a closer look.
Absolutely. So, okay, let's say we're cool with the privacy thing. Are there any other limitations to AI trainers?
Like, are there things they just can't do as well as a human trainer?
Right. Well, one thing that comes to mind is that as amazing as AI is, it can't fully replace human interaction.
Yeah, a real trainer can be empathetic and supportive and adjust to your mood in a way that an app just can't.
Exactly. At least not yet.
And let's be honest, sometimes you just need someone to give you a pep talk or high-five you after a tough set.
Yeah.
An app can't really do that.
Yeah.
That's true, though maybe they'll figure that out eventually. But for now, that human connection is still a big advantage for real trainers.
Right. And I'm guessing a human trainer can also pick up on things that an app might miss. Like if you're doing an exercise wrong or pushing yourself too hard.
Absolutely. They can see those subtle cues and adjust things on the fly. That kind of intuition and experience is hard to program into an algorithm.
And there's also the physical aspect of it.
Right.
Like an AI trainer can't physically correct your form or check if you've injured yourself. That's where a human trainer is still essential.
Exactly. So it seems like AI is more of a tool than a replacement. It can be incredibly helpful for guidance and motivation, but it's not a substitute for professional help when you need it.
More like they work together, AI and human trainers. Each one brings something different to the table.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works best for you and your goals.
So now the big question, AI trainers versus human trainers, which one wins?
Well, I don't think it's really about one being better than the other. Both approaches have their pros and cons. It really depends on your individual needs and circumstances.
Okay, so no knockouts, just a good old-fashioned comparison. Let's break it down. What are the biggest advantages of going with an AI trainer?
Well, one of the biggest things is affordability. AI trainers tend to be a lot cheaper than hiring a human trainer, especially in the long run.
Yeah, personal training can get really expensive.
Yeah.
So having a more budget-friendly option is a huge plus.
And then there's convenience. Your AI trainer is available 24/7, no matter what your schedule is like.
That's a game changer for people who travel a lot or have unpredictable work hours.
Exactly. And you can't forget about the data-driven aspect. AI trainers take out a lot of the guesswork. They analyze your data, track your progress, and tailor a plan specifically for you. And that can lead to faster and more efficient results.
It's like having a personal data scientist for your fitness.
Right. Now, of course, human trainers have their own set of advantages.
Like the human connection we were talking about earlier. They can provide that emotional support and motivation that an app just can't replicate.
Exactly. Sometimes you need more than just data and algorithms. You need someone to believe in you, push you, and celebrate your successes with you.
And human trainers have that hands-on expertise. They can show you the proper form, correct your technique, and give you personalized guidance.
Especially for more complex exercises, or if you have an injury, a human trainer can be invaluable.
So it sounds like both AI trainers and human trainers have a lot to offer. Maybe the best solution is some kind of hybrid approach.
That's an interesting idea, combining the best of both worlds. You could have an AI trainer to track your progress, create your workouts, and give you feedback. And then you could also have a human coach for guidance support and that extra push when you need it.
That sounds like a pretty awesome setup.
It does. Now, all this talk about AI versus human trainers brings up another question. What does the future hold for AI and fitness?
Yeah, is this just the beginning? Or are we about to see a total fitness revolution?
Well, the article has some pretty interesting predictions about that.
Okay, lay it on me. What kind of crazy fitness tech is coming our way?
Well, maybe not flying cars or anything, but it does sound pretty futuristic.
I'm all ears.
Yeah, it really seems like AI is going to change the fitness game in a big way.
It's definitely exciting to think about all the possibilities.
Yeah.
But with all this tech talk, I think it's important to remember that fitness is also a human thing.
Absolutely.
It's not just about data and algorithms, right?
Right. It's a very personal journey, and it's often connected to our emotions and how we feel about ourselves. Technology can be a great tool, but it can't replace the human element.
Totally. We can talk about AI trainers and virtual workouts, but at the end of the day, it's about how we feel, how we connect with our bodies, and how we find joy in moving.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means putting the screens away.
Exactly. Think about the feeling you get when you join a group fitness class or work out with a friend, or the inspiration you get from a coach who gets you and celebrates your wins with you.
Those are the things that make fitness really meaningful.
Yeah.
And while AI can definitely make things better, it's not a magic solution for everyone.
It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. It's like any tool you have to use it in a way that works for you and doesn't take away from the human experience.
Right. So I guess the big takeaway from this deep dive into AI personal trainers is to be open to the possibilities, but don't forget what makes fitness so powerful in the first place.
Yeah, explore the new tech, but always listen to your body and find what motivates you and makes you happy.
Well said. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive. We hope you enjoyed this look at AI personal trainers. And until next time, stay curious, stay active, and keep on learning.